summer off, you probably wouldn't be a good nanny for summer.
That's true.
But the awesome thing, though, is like
Todd
they
and
don't
Erin.
even clean the Facebook stuff up.
Daily stream.
Oh, sorry, hi.
So
Todd and I are hiring a summer nanny, and so it's been kind of a challenge because the first is getting to, they can work the whole time, and the second is that.
by the way, we call them nannies because we pay them too much.
No,
not enough.
You could never pay them enough for what they
know.
do, and also because our kids are. It's not like just watching TV. There's a lot to do.
There should be.
But, and medical and stuff like that. But it's funny because there are 2 or 3 that I read through their resumes and their covers, and they were like so good.
We do this every night.
Talk to them on the phone, and I'm like, these girls are amazing.
They're perfect.
And then I check on Facebook, and like one has something that says, "Oh, I was so drunk last night, I couldn't even go to work today." And I'm like, thank you for sharing.
Yeah, there you go.
There's certain things when you have to remember that social media is there for you.
Forever. Just go ahead and Google a name. There it is.
Forever. I don't know why this is.
The other thing, too, is that most of them, 3 last night, sounded great. They were so good.
Wonderful
and
girls.
we're getting them for the summer, right? And into the fall.
Because we have to work, so if our kids are out of school, we would need you there when our kids are out of school.
And they sound great, and they go, I can't wait. I can start immediately. I am so psyched. I live close. I could walk there in case of a snowstorm. You could still go to work. And we're like, this is so good. And they go, I need August off. The what? You who? You need August? We don't get August off.
Does everybody else go through this? Because I love these girls. I mean, they all are amazing, but it's just... But yeah, the Facebook part has definitely been my favorite because you learn so many important things.
Oh my gosh.
So many. For instance, this kid who apparently was applying for a job as a teacher's assistant at the Brightside Academy Child Center in New Jersey. Mm-hmm. And he was very excited. This is Anthony Rodriguez. And he went, this is great, man. I was going to be a teacher's assistant. And he was like, I mean, it was right there. They were like, we're going to offer you the job tomorrow kind of thing. Come in and fill out some paperwork. And then...
What's up?
God bless him. He took a picture holding a pistol next to a Bronx cop car trying to look manly. You know how the young gangster boys do the cool gun poses, and you're like, oh, God bless you, honey. Put that down before you shoot yourself in the leg. You're fired.
You didn't even get hired.
And he goes, I have all of my certificates. And they went, you can't work here.
You're brandishing a weapon next to a cop car. You're lucky you weren't shot.
I mean, it's like, honey, it's the fact that he put it on his Facebook page with something like, yo, N-word, look at my bad blank, blank, blank. And employers look at those things.
This is actually how they catch a lot of poachers now.
Isn't that funny?
Because they can't help themselves. They can't.
Look at this big rack
and they can't. And they're just like, look at these. I got 4 turkeys. First of all, you're not allowed to shoot 4 turkeys. Number 2, it's out of season. And number 3, he denied it. Number 4, they have DNA testing for turkey meat.
Get out. Really?
And they busted the guy.
You just can't stop yourself.
You can't stop yourself from putting it up. We've already had a full morning. We've already been entertained. We went to our daughter's school, and each grade put on a performance. And we watched, and it was awesome. There's 2 kids in every class.
They're so freaking adorable.
There's 2 kids in every class. And, the things kind of move slowly. It's like we're pirates, we're getting gold. I'm a parrot. Pause. Rearrange. Rearrange.
You have to say the parrot noise.
Ah!
Thank you.
But there's 2 kids in every class who fight their way to the front and stand like this.
I am ready for my close-up. And I love them.
They don't do anything. They're just present. And they're like...
I need you to know that I'm here.
Oh, my gosh.
And they're so darling.
They're so cute.
I mean, they're so cute. There's nothing more entertaining than elementary school plays. I'm sorry.
I don't understand why you're upset about this. Let me explain. I, for a long time, was a member of the Shave Club. You get those things, and they're cheaper and stuff.
And those brown packets would appear every month, and they'd start stacking up in one of your drawers.
These are my last 2. And so they stacked up because I didn't change them that much because I don't have a heavy beard, or I grew a beard and I didn't. And they stacked up, and I had about 10, 15, 20 of those envelopes, which have one of those in it. So basically what happened is we had to cancel a credit card because of some fraud, and that was the direct payment.
And it was handy
because
it was
razor
done,
company.
And
we never really said goodbye.
Do you feel like there wasn't closure there?
We kind of just parted ways. And I thought, you know what? I only have 2 of those left. I'm going to need some more. And by the way, the counter to Harry's and to the Shave Club and all the people who sell us these at like $6. Gillette came out and they put this big American commercial together. These 46 American workers are proud to make those. And then the point is like, because we've been screwing you over price-wise.
We just want you to remember that we're American.
Hair appeared on your face. And they said we lowered the price is still like $3. This is why they lock up razors in the stores.
Isn't that ridiculous?
So anyway.
Wow.
I wasn't sure what I was going to say, so I emailed them and I said, hey, listen, I used to buy them from you and stuff, and we kind of, got disconnected. And I was thinking back in my brain, what? And I said, but I was in prison. And Erin hated this part. And I said, I was in they're not going to judge me. It's a razor company. And I said, I was in prison. And I just want to see if I can get the same deal I had because it was really good. Thanks very much. Let me know. Off it goes. This morning, I got a response, and it starts off with, Dear Todd, congratulations on your new freedom. Which I thought was hilarious. So anyway.
At least you know that it was a custom reply and not just one of their stock
I know
answers.
It wasn't a robot, right? And so
what possessed you? I mean, what at one point when you were typing going, made you go, you know what I need to tell them that will be my slam dunk excuses that I was in prison. What went through your head?
I think because if I had to explain myself, let's say I had a relationship with someone and I just suddenly disappeared.
Ghosting. They call it ghosting.
No, I just disappeared.
That's called ghosting.
Is it?
Yes.
Why? But I'm not watching them. I'm gone.
No, you're ghosting. It's like you're out of there. That's what they call it. You're
and
ghosting
I felt
them.
like, how would I ever explain that to anybody? Is like, I'm sorry I disappeared. I was in prison. I know that's not right because honesty is a good thing. Plus, that person probably is going to be a little weird that you were in prison and what for and how long and how do you look in orange and stuff like that. So,
sometimes there are just things about you that are so creepy.
I just think it was congratulations on your new freedom. Let us help you with your shaving needs. I thought it was awesome.
Roger thinks that's a great excuse, so that was good. And Jeff Fordner said, soap on a rope, so he's there to support you. So thanks, guys. I appreciate the two of you backing my husband up in his jail excuse on Facebook.
Almost forgot about the soap on a rope, Dale. Thank you very much. We should talk about
awesome.
Springfield.
The reason why it's important to do this is, how we made the same goal that we did with people who were falsely accused of things,
right.
Where we reported the story and said this is what they've been accused of,
right.
And when it came out that they were falsely accused, that's usually the story that nobody ever follows up on, and we really thought that was important to say, okay, this was said, it wasn't true, this man or this woman is innocent. Well,
right.
In this case, it's not a guilt versus innocence thing, but you may remember the kind of the logo we showed you yesterday, which was a bunch of really nasty, mean words like that, trash, satanic, blah, blah, blah.
And
it ended up in the logo of Springville High School.
And where did it go?
Well, this was in the Facebook for Maple Mountain High School.
Right.
And as you can imagine, nobody was really hugely happy about that. But what was kind of sweet is that...
But before you said that, didn't this go into the yearbook?
Yes, this was in the yearbook for Maple Mountain.
Okay, go ahead.
Which is like for the rest of your life, you open it up and there's something that says you're competitive, high school. So this was actually really sweet. Mary Kilpatrick's Maple Mountain Junior, and she said, this is just like setting out like the senior class on a bad cloud. And so she and a group of friends made this huge apology video where they had student after student saying, sorry, we didn't want you to feel this way. We're sorry.
It wasn't our intent.
And then they covered the entire front of Springville High School with apology notes, which was very sweet, like paper hearts that said, sorry, we really love you.
And then they went crazy with chalk on the sidewalk with positive messages.
So that's very sweet. I mean,
very cool.
That's like triple bonus points. It's like you stepped up, you said that was a mistake, we apologize. And it's funny how many things, and they talk about this all the time, the rise in litigation is what killed the apology. Because the first thing attorneys always tell you is never apologize. Don't apologize. That's an admission of guilt. But if you think about how many fights that get started or lawsuits or car accidents that turn into something bigger, if you had just said, I am so sorry that happened. I'm so sorry. I mean, every time it stops me dead, I'm like, thank you. Thank you for telling me that.
Little hint, though, when you're saying you're sorry, say you're sorry and shut up. No other words. I'm sorry. Don't justify it. I'm sorry.
You're looking at me when you say that, aren't you?
No, I'm looking right there. I can see the reflection of you, and the monitor's over there, but I'm not looking there. I'm looking there.
I'm from a family that never admits that we're wrong. And so
They're debaters.
For years and years and years, I would apologize to Todd for something that had happened during an argument or whatever, and I would say, but here's my reason why, thereby really nullifying any apology that might have actually been made, because I was basically trying to say, I'm not really sorry because it was perfectly okay, which is, of course, then not an apology.
And when she actually apologized for something once, and it wasn't a big deal, and she was like, I'm really sorry, but I went, oh, no.
Let's just stop right there, there.
My little turtle dove, no.
It was a hard lesson. It took me a while to learn that. It did.
Let's talk about...
Kathy says, congratulations on your freedom, Todd. So that's good.
Hey, thanks. It was funny. And the first thing back was, welcome to your new freedom. Congratulations. I thought it was awesome. I want to talk about...
Beautiful, yeah.
I've been seeing this stuff all over, national news and stuff. They talked about where our raises are. They talked about the economy going crazy, and we talked about minimum wage in the 80s being $2.75. And now, 2018, it's $7.25.
38 years later, that's only a $4.50 raise.
It's like down here and down there. I mean, it's just like, it doesn't make sense. Businesses are booming, right?
Well, this is the battle of the disappearing middle class, which, of course, we're all the ones that actually pay all the taxes. So we're fairly important to the economy of the country. Right. But what they're finding is the middle class are the least likely to get a raise. Now, there's been times in my life that I've had people give me bonuses or something like, wow, thank you, and you don't expect it and you're all happy.
Right.
But you remember this vividly when you were in an equal position with your morning partner and you had to go, I have to be paid the same amount. And for women, it's even harder. I mean, it is. But it's interesting. They're saying...
It's actually better than that, but I won't go into it.
No, it was pretty good. They're saying right now this is a fantastic booming economy, and they say that and in every other way, as you can see, there's a lot of different expenses. We've talked about the housing crisis, how expensive it is. Right. A lot of landlords are actually switching to 6-month leases so that they can hike the rate at the end of 6 months.
Because they were going to do that to us, but they didn't, and I thought that was cool.
No, they like us. That's
I know.
Because you repair stuff.
I fix stuff.
Yeah, you do. But it's interesting. What they're saying now is the average wage in Utah grew to $47,000 in 2017.
Average.
That's a decent increase of 5.3% from the year before. But however, the wage forecast for this year, which is even higher, ridiculously higher, they're saying it's a negligible wage increase, which is traditionally about 1.5%. So it really doesn't even impact. So what they're saying is this is the time you're going to have to start asking for your raise. Because unemployment rates are so low and it's harder to find someone good to take your job, this is the point where you can actually step up and go,
retention. You
need to pay me more. And they
because of this, and this.
They say, there's a lot of suggestions. They say go to state sites where you can show, wage growth comparison, that you can show salary comparison with similar jobs to yours.
More importantly, show them what you've done and what else you can do.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
So one of the things I thought was interesting is business is so good for people that they don't look at minimum wage. It's like, all I have to do is pay you $7.25. That's all I have to do. And the answer is no to that. I mean, McDonald's is up to 10 or something. Some places are even up to 12. Mm-hmm. And so people are hiring because of the exact same thing you said.
You know, one of the interesting things, though, that corporations have been doing, and we have seen this actually before in radio, when people have asked for a raise and said, hey, I saved the company this kind of money or blah, 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 they'll go, we can't give you a raise, but we're going to make you an assistant manager.
You get a title.
What they'll do is they'll offer you a title instead. And for a lot of people, the value of a title and the increase to their self-esteem may make it worth it, but you want to really think that through carefully. You're not getting any more money for the title, and it's very likely it doesn't give you any more power. You just have a title. So you have to be very careful about what that entails if that's something that you're offered in lieu of salary.
Like if there's somebody calls you an automotive placement service specialist, you're parking cars. Okay, so the title's not going to help you because you're still parking cars. It doesn't give any more money for doing that, which it should. And interesting, another story coming up about truck drivers a little later in the show. And you might want to think about doing this. I had no idea that there was such a demand.
Isn't that interesting?
And they pay money. Like serious money. But we'll talk about that after information.
All right. Well, Daisy's in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom, so let's go to her. She is brought to you by Think and McGregor Mortgages Made Simple. Look, if there were ever a time to be all ready to go with your paperwork, it would be now. Go to think-mcgregor.com. In 4 minutes, you can get an idea of what they can do for you, and someone will call you back in the next business day. Also, by Brio Technologies, you cannot believe what the experts in lighting, sound, and video can do for your business and how they can take you to an entirely different level on social media. Just go to brioaudiovisual.com for more information. And by the New Millennium Group. If you don't know the right questions to ask yourself for retirement, for your future, for your kids' future, these are the people who know what to ask you to help you get started. Go to utahsfinancialplanner.com. Daisy, my dear, what is going on today?
Thanks, Todd and Erin. Hello, everyone. Here's what's making news on Wednesday, May 23rd on GephartDaily.com. Tragedy Tuesday in Tooele County, where a 71-year-old man died in an ATV accident. The Tooele County Sheriff's Office said the man and his wife were in the Indian Creek Canyon area when he went over a steep embankment, causing the ATV to roll on top of him. The victim's wife had to drive for 20 minutes before she could get cell service and call for help. Her husband was pronounced dead at the scene. A trailer fire Tuesday morning claimed the life of an elderly Brigham City man and critically injured another. The fire was reported at about 8:45 a.m. by a neighbor who saw the blaze and shouted to alert the people inside. Brigham City police said one man ran from the home in flames while the same neighbor used a garden hose to extinguish the fire. The man was rushed to the hospital in critical condition with burns to 30 to 40% of his body. The man's 83-year-old father did not make it out and was found by firefighters inside the residence. The Brigham City Fire Department said there were no working smoke detectors in the home. Damage is estimated at $50,000. And police are investigating an armed robbery at a Midvale restaurant Tuesday night. Unified Police Lieutenant Manfred Lassick said the robbery happened about 6:45 at Chabar Beyond Thai at 87 West, 7200 South. Lassick said a man entered the business carrying a long gun wrapped in a jacket. He showed the clerk the gun, then asked for money before running off. No one was injured in the incident. Anyone with information about the suspect is asked to call UPD at 801-743-7000. And time now for a look at the Wasatch Front weather, brought to you by Brio Technologies, Utah's top audio-visual specialists, and by Magic Wash, home of the long-lasting ceramic car wash with outlets in South Ogden and in Layton. If you liked Tuesday's weather, you'll love what we have in store for today. Expect highs Wednesdays in the upper 70s with a chance of afternoon showers. Thursday and Friday, we turn up the heat and dry out a bit with highs in the upper 80s. That's it for now. For more news and weather 24/7, go to GephartDaily.com. Todd and Erin, back to you.
Thank you, Daisy. I got to tell you about Millennium Financial.
New Millennium Financial.
That's who I was talking about. Let's say you have a 401k. That's right here, and then you have a savings account. And that's right there. And let's say you have CDs or stocks or something like that. And what you do is you go to these people, and so I say I have X amount of money, and they go, well, that's great, congratulations. And then you say, well, what do I do with it? How do I use it correctly? In what order do I get to spend it if I want to retire? All these different things, and they have the answers to them. And they can set you up so you have a rest of your life plan. So instead of just like having all these different things, they can put it all together for you, and now you have a package and the sense of well-being that you don't have to worry about anything more. So go check them out at the New Millennium Financial. Are you ready for it?
Yes, tell me something good.
I'm going to tell you something good.
This is very sweet.
So we watched the royal wedding, right?
Now, we all know that the flowers, I mean, everything there was beautiful. It was exquisite. It was probably $1 zillion.
When they walked out, that arch was peonies and white roses.
Oh, that was so pretty.
And it was, 25 feet high and all the way up the sides and stuff. And what they did is they took all those flowers because you're thinking, oh, there's just,
all the flowers at the reception, all the flowers at the wedding.
I mean, there's only so many you can dry, as a little keepsake, right? So what they did is they decided to put them to good use. And after the royal wedding at Windsor Castle on Saturday, and they donated all the flowers to St. Joseph's Hospice in London. And they gave all the flowers to this group. Look at they've got wedding flowers from the royals.
And they look beautiful.
And they went to different places and they dumped them off, and they said the place smells perfect because they have all these different things.
I think that is absolutely gorgeous. That makes me so happy.
And they also, this is interesting, the Duchess of Sussex. She donated her wedding bouquet and put it on top of the grave of the unknown warrior in Westminster Abbey, which is tradition.
And they were forget-me-nots.
Yes.
That is so cool.
Queen Elizabeth started that trend.
That is beautiful.
That's what they do with it. So cool.
I really like him, and they don't even get to go on a honeymoon yet. We're talking about Meghan and Prince Harry because they had to start their royal duties right away. And they said, oh, that's okay. We can, we'll space it out. That's good. So literally the next day after the wedding, they jumped back into it and they started royal duties
again. Where do you go? You're royal. Oh, where would you go?
Oh, for a honeymoon? Yeah, like Bulletproof Island? I don't know. Where you... Yeah. There's some pressure.
I mean, do you go to Sandals? Do you go to an all-paid resort? Do you go swim with the dolphins?
There's some really nice places down in Cancun we should look at.
Who's got a water slide? Guys flown war helicopters, armed in the war. So where,
what possible thrill are you going to be getting here? We'd like to know, yeah.
Chunky cheese? Where do you go? I have no idea.
That's very funny. I hadn't thought of that. But
there should be an island. Oh. And then you have those helicopters standing by, just in case you go to an island, a private island.
I said Bulletproof Island. That's what you need.
Bulletproof Island.
Something with a dome on it.
I thought that was really cool.
I thought that was so too.
I don't know where you would go. We should mention Christopher's because Christopher's has delicious food. You know that. You know that we're giving these dinners away because we want to thank you for watching and sharing this with people, even if you don't like them.
Especially if you don't like them.
It's kind of a mean joke to play.
Yeah.
And so I would suggest to do that. Just by sharing, we're going to give a table of 4.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to be drawing a winner on Friday. So all you have to do in order to win is just share the show today. You don't even have to write anything out. You don't even have to leave a comment, although we're happy if you do. But just share the show today. We'll pick somebody who shared the show this week, and you get the dinner for 4. And it's a spectacular night. And really the best part, aside from the fact the food is amazing, and so is the service, is that you finally get to connect back with people you love.
Learn their names.
You get a chance to sit there and talk again.
Right.
Maybe like grown-ups, like it hasn't happened for a while.
They'll talk about poop or puking.
What? Will you stop saying that?
Kid stuff.
We're talking about food.
Okay, sorry. Hey, coming up next.
Just share the show.
There's a new job that's available for you, and
really,
$80,000. Interested? And some people are stealing pigs. What's that all about? We'll tell you coming up next.
We're brought to you by Fink & McGregor. Mortgages made simple. Just head to fink-mcgregor.com. Take 4 minutes to answer some questions, and you'll get a great idea about mortgages that you're eligible for. And by Stay Fit Wellness Clinic. Go get a personalized health analysis. This is the time to get back in shape. Feel better, feel younger, and without a ton of new medications at stayfitwellnessclinic.com. We're brought to you by Fink & McGregor. Mortgages made simple. Just head to fink-mcgregor.com. Take 4 minutes to answer some questions.
Got to tell you, that bowl you're looking at right now of snow, it's the last part of the snow that melts. I watch it every year, and I can see it from our house. And it's always that last little bit. There's always avalanches up there.
I'm just not giving in.
It's just because it's shadowed, it's shaded, the altitude's high enough. I always wanted to go there. Maybe someday.
Maybe this is the year, baby. All right, so tell me, explain this whole thing to me now.
About the pigs.
About the pig pilfering. Pilfering pigs. Is this like a fraternity dare? What?
No.
What is this?
There's a group called Direct Action Everywhere. Now, animal rights, I'm totally with it. Totally with it.
I belong to PETA. I was arrested in a protest. I understand.
You were zip tied?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it was in the South, and they said that the handcuffs weren't comfortable, and then he gave me a Diet Coke because I looked hot. It wasn't like I got beaten.
You look hot? Yeah, you did.
No. But
you were hot. Mm-hmm. Oh, I get it. But you were hot.
Thank you, honey. Yeah.
You're welcome. So this group of them, and this happened at a pig farm down in Beaver, which is funny to say, isn't it? Pig farm in Beaver. Beaver pig farm.
It's the Beaver pig farm.
And so basically they went in, they broke in, and they stole some piglets. Now I have to say,
I would like to clarify, was there like a video showing a demonstrative pattern of abuse at the farm,
Well,
and they felt
I'll
that
say
this
this.
was
I'll say this.
because I mean you can't just go in and steal piglets. There has
Right.
to be
Right.
an established pattern of abuse
Right.
or
Well, it's a factory farm, and if
Okay.
you've ever done any research or seen any video, it is, I'll say, heartless. Yeah, it is exactly what you would think it would be: small spaces, dirty, push them through, that kind of thing. And it is really hard. I was fortunate enough to live and work part-time on a very small dairy of 40 cows, and we had a pig, and we fed the pig well, and the pig,
and you had turkeys. The
and the
turkeys loved you.
pig laid out in the sun and covered itself with mud, ate all this great food, and then one day he went on a vacation to a place,
Another farm.
and weeks later, bacon showed up. What the?
But there was a quality of life.
Yeah.
There was a quality of life. And
Yeah.
you worked on a small working farm.
That's what I'm saying.
Which
In
is
fact,
where
your farms-
animals were treated humanely with
Yeah.
respect.
It's
Yeah.
like you don't want to know what they make hot dogs out of, kind of thing. But it is really rough. And the chicken egg laying business was big in Maine, and that was kind of rough too. But these guys decided, go back to the picture. What they did is they went into the business, into the farm, and they set up a camera, a 360 camera. You know how you go online and you can move the camera around and stuff. And they showed pictures of the different conditions in there. And the cops got a hold of this.
Oh dear.
And so there you go. There's a piglet.
There's also unfortunately an identifiable person.
Yeah, all of them were. None of them were masked, and so they have pictures of everyone. You know what?
So they've posted it on
cameras-
social media
The
then.
camera was light sensitive, so low light it could film. It was also in color, thank you, and it was also 360, so you could go around the room and pick the people out. So anyway, what's the lesson here?
It's kind of the same lesson that our prospective nannies have learned and that young gentleman
Don't
posing
post
with the
stuff
gun.
like that,
Yeah.
and you're gonna get. Anyway, so your idea about factory farming and stuff, I know how I feel about it, but
So you said, but now that they've caught these people, what happened? Because this is where we're talking about the pig pilfering penalty. That I didn't even mean that one because it
Right.
sounded really lighthearted.
well, the pigs and beaver, they basically got all kinds, 2 counts of burglary. They have against animal enterprise because that is something that has happened with mink farms and all the different ones. They say also for exposing secondary felonies in their livestock, messing with theft of livestock is a big thing for the farmers, and basically they're screwed.
Wouldn't it just be easier to file, once you had the video, to file a lawsuit against the farm? Because it just seems to me that your chances of shutting down inhumane conditions would be considerably greater if you filed a lawsuit and brought this to public attention versus stealing.
Well,
Which, although I would want to save the pigs too, I'm totally with you there. It's not like I'm saying, no, I get it. I probably would be the idiot tucking them in my shirt as fast as I could. But if you were looking at actually making a substantive change on this farm,
Yeah. Well, you should think about why you're eating pork then. Also, if you want to know where it comes from. Anyway, they're in a lot of trouble.
okay then. Let's
All right.
move on. This
You
was
ready?
this was like the good news.
Great story right here.
I was excited for this.
Happiest story in the news today, except for the flower thing was pretty.
The
nice.
flower thing was nice.
80,000 a year, and that's medium wage. 80 grand. What kind of work would you do for 80 grand? I mean, you could do anything. You could be working with
I know
computers.
there's a lot of new
80
coding
grand.
things
I
and
know.
computers and
Driving.
what do you mean driving?
Truck drivers.
Truckers, really?
Truck drivers. There is a shortage of truck drivers.
Get out.
I'm not getting out. I'm staying here. It's part of my show. The delivery costs are going through the roof right now. The gas prices are forcing it too. 51,000 truck drivers are missing. That's what they need.
50,000?
51,000.
And they're where did you get the sum though for the 80 grand? Because that's really
That's how.
maybe we should be rethinking our career in media at this point because that's like wow.
And you know, a lot of people, if you ask them, it's like, well, what kind of work do you do? And he goes, I'm a truck driver, and this through the windshield is my office. And they do. We have a couple of friends on Facebook, and
Driver
they
Dave,
go, "Hey,
yeah.
I'm going to San Diego today. I'll be back tomorrow." And you're like, it's like you're driving to Disneyland every day. The truck companies are desperate for this. They're saying that they used to be able to, their clients would call and they'd say, yeah, we'll get that in a truck. It'll be there in 2 days. Now they have to warn people that it might be 2 weeks.
Interesting.
To get your load to you for, what you want to do with it. 80 grand.
I'm impressed.
I'm impressed too.
Well, this is so great. Do you know why this is so great? Because now the 30-year-old who his parents had to go to the New York State Supreme Court to boot him out of their basement.
Yeah.
This is a potential new opportunity for him.
Except for he doesn't want to ever work. So the story behind this
Don't
is...
you want to read it?
No, a 30-year-old guy is living in his parents' basement. He's 30. He doesn't have a job. His car is broken down. He lives in the basement and evidently has been freeloading enough that the parents asked him to leave.
Now, they had actually sent 5 different messages that they had to bring up in court. The reason why they ended up all the way to state Supreme Court is because you cannot evict a member of the family
right.
just by calling the sheriffs and going.
Well,
and they had done these increasingly desperate messages of, you're evicted, but we'll give you $1,000 so you have a place to stay, and here's some advice on how to get your finances together. There's another thing about it will pay to tow your car and get it fixed. I mean, just increasingly desperate. And Michael, of course, calmly ignored them and continued to stay in the basement.
And so where did this thing end up?
Well, apparently Christina or Mark Rotondo did receive a very happy judgment yesterday from the Supreme Court judge who said...
The Supreme Court.
Said, get out. Dude, you have to go now.
You have to go do your own
Well, this is
laundry.
really, really funny because Michael, who has now been evicted, says he was very frustrated with the judge and said, I don't think he fully read the case. Because he said, it sounds like the judge said I have to leave the house immediately, and that's just ridiculous, because it seems to me like I should be provided with, 30 days or so, because generally you get 30 days after you're found, to have to,
him to leave for
vacate the
90.
premises. So I'm expecting something like that, but I'll also be appealing. It's like,
and my
laundry.
God
bless
I want
you,
my
sweetheart.
laundry done.
So his main focus was that he was displeased that he didn't get what he felt should be a 30-day notice. It's like, well, dude, they've been trying that for a while.
What do you think?
And the fact that he would even be shameless enough to talk to reporters, because if this were me, I'd be like, I'm just going to kill myself quietly in the courthouse bathroom. Just excuse me for a minute.
What do you think the chances would be of getting a date if you were 30 years old and lived in your parents' basement, didn't have a working car nor a job? You're going to be alone forever.
My dating standards weren't hugely high, but I did require an automobile and an address.
That's nice.
Those were...
I was tempted once when my housing situation was very shaky and someone had a house. But that was didn't happen.
Not the same thing at all.
Didn't happen.
Not at all. All right, well, coming up next, this is so cool. Zachary Levi, of course, who we always loved, and he's amazing. Salt Lake Comic-Con's been here a lot. And he just got the huge title character of Shazam. We have the first image. It's very, very cool. Stay with us. We're brought to you by Stay Fit Wellness Clinic. If you're tired of feeling sick and tired, it's time to make an appointment with Dr. Bowden for a new holistic health plan to make you feel better, lose weight, sleep well at StayFitWellnessClinic.com. And by Magic Wash with 2 locations in South Ogden and Layton. Come in for the ceramic car wash that keeps your car cleaner longer by sheeting all the dirt and the water off your nice shiny finish.
Oh, welcome back to the Todd and Erin Daily Stream. This confuses me a little bit with a Hollywood connection brought to you by
Connect Heating and Air. They have a $39 air conditioner tune-up special right now. This will save us hundreds of dollars in energy bills. This is a really good time to do it now. Just go to utahheatingandcooling.com.
I'm confused by this.
Explain.
Go ahead.
No, Zachary Levi. We love him. He's been at Salt Lake Comic Con a lot. He's adorable. And he switched. He was in Marvel because, of course, he was Fandral in Thor. But then,
of course.
As you remember in Ragnarok, that kind of...
Who wouldn't?
The Warriors 3 were, that went out the window. So DC Comics, which is like the heavy rival, just signed him for Shazam. And I'm really excited for him. This is so cool.
I'm really confused by this.
And so this was his Instagram thing, and he said, this is what dreams are made of, complete and total wish fulfillment, plus a beverage, all the squeezes.
Do we have a picture of him?
And I guess this was the first look for the Shazam movie. And he's supposed
Oh,
to
is
be.
this the guy from
Yeah.
my show?
Oh, from Chuck. Oh, of course. I'm sorry, Chuck.
Yeah,
You
Chuck.
love Chuck. No, but he was
I like
he's
him.
very, very funny, and they say that the movie is
I have
hysterical.
a problem, though.
Tell me.
You know who the original Shazam is, don't you?
I don't even know what Shazam was because I'm a Marvel person, not a DC Comics person.
Racist. It was Shaq.
Shaq was Shazam?
Shaq was the Shazam. He was, right? Wasn't it Shazam? Talk to me on Facebook. It was Shazam, right? And he played like a genie.
Know.
And
Someone tell us. I don't know either.
it was a horrible movie. But if you're stealing a character from Shaq, that could be rather dangerous, wouldn't it?
I don't know.
I think it was called Shazam.
I'm very happy for you, Zachary.
They
I
made
think this
a
is
lot
wonderful,
of-
sweetheart.
People very critical about that movie. Can you
Yeah.
imagine?
There's probably a reason for that.
Check and see if someone's responded. Go ahead.
Yeah, they just seem to think it's Shazam, that it was the Shaq movie. They say that it took 25 years to revive it just from the shame.
It dripped with rottenness. It really did.
That's so
But
sad.
you were like, oh, it's Shaq. He's not supposed to act.
All right,
Yeah.
Daisy's here in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom. She is brought to you by New Millennium Financial Group. Get the right questions, get the right answers, and get started on a financial future that is actually sustainable. Go to utahsfinancialplanner.com. Also by the Stay Fit Wellness Group. I'm excited. I'm going to be going in and they're going to be taking a look at my knee, which just basically needs a better fitting shoe, which they're going to fix for me. And I'm so thrilled with this because you know what? So many of your problems really don't have to be solved by medication. They can be solved by a whole body head to toe fitness change. That's what Stay Fit Wellness Group does. And by Think McGregor, mortgages made simple. Just go to think-mcgregor.com. They have all the new information about the rising interest rates and everything you need to know to qualify. Think-mcgregor.com. Daisy, my dear, what is going on today?
Thanks, Todd and Erin. Here's what's making news in the US and around the world Wednesday, May 23rd on GephartDaily.com. Lava from Hawaii's Kalau volcano has creeped onto the property of one of the Big Island's geothermal power plants. The Hawaii County Civil Defense said lava from Fissure 22 crossed onto the property of the Puno geothermal plant Monday. The plant is preparing to shut down should the lava advance. So far, 40 structures, including 20 homes, have been consumed by the volcano. The U.S. Embassy in China issued a health alert to all government workers after an employee there showed signs of a brain injury. The injury showed up after a worker reported hearing abnormal sounds and feeling unusual physical pressure. The U.S. government says it is taking these reports seriously. Similar injuries have been reported by U.S. Embassy workers in Cuba. And one of the most heralded American novelists of the 20th century has died. Philip Roth passed away Tuesday at a New York City hospital. Known for his dark and sardonic humor, Roth wrote 31 novels over a 50-year span, including Goodbye Columbus, Portnoy's Complaint, and American Pastoral. He was 85 years old. And time now for a look at the Wasatch Front weather, brought to you by Brio Technologies, Utah's #1 audiovisual specialists, and by Magic Wash, home of the high-tech, long-lasting ceramic car wash with outlets in South Ogden and Layton. If you like Tuesday's weather, you're going to love what's in store for today. Expect highs Wednesday in the upper 70s with a chance of afternoon and evening showers. Thursday and Friday, we dry out and warm up with highs in the upper 80s. For more news 24/7, check out GephartDaily.com. Todd and Erin, back to you.
Thank you, my dear Daisy. Okay, Stay Fit Wellness. If you didn't get a chance to see our interview with the good doctor last Friday, here's one of the reasons I love these people is because they think that really if you're taking a look at your health, you need a holistic, full body approach. How many times have you felt like crap and you've gone to a doctor and said, oh, here's a pill that's going to fix that one condition? And then, of course, there's always something to pay on the back end because that's what medication does. When is the last time you actually went in and you talked to a doctor and he sat down and went through your whole history with you and asked questions and went through different things and went through different options and then came up with a customized evaluation? Maybe he says you need neuropathy treatment. We're going to work on that. Maybe you need clinical nutrition. Maybe I need to help you with laser therapy. The point is this is what happens when you go to Stay Fit Wellness Clinic, and it can be incredibly affordable. He's done amazing work with children with special needs, with sensory issues like autism. He's done great work with seniors. That's one of the funny things about being in what I call the panini generation. We're not the sandwich generation. We're the panini generation, where we are the slice of cheese crushed between two searing hot slices of bread.
I'm hungry. Stop it.
We get to worry about our parents and we get to worry about our kids. This is one reason that it's great to have these people on speed dial and go in and let them get to know you and find out more. It's going to change how you live your life. Stay Fit Wellness Clinic.
You better go to the post office.
Why?
Because they have something new. You don't really associate the post office with kiwi melon popsicles, do you?
No, I guess not.
New stamps are coming out. Scratch and sniff.
You are very excited. You're very excited by this.
Look, sundries. Different pops. You can scratch them and they smell. Each one smells different. There's watermelon. There's blueberry. There's the kiwi. This is a great idea. Except
now,
for,
do they really, when you scratch them, do they really smell tasty?
Yeah.
Do we have proof of that?
No. But they should take it to the next level.
But they're supposed to.
Next level.
Okay, what would the next level be?
Just like Willy Wonka and his wallpaper. Do you remember?
Was that the stuff you could lick?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you're licking the back anyway. Why not lick the front? Or the back could complement the front. So it could be like cashews and chocolate. I could be a millionaire.
You really are a genius.
And then you could play like Russian roulette. Willy Wonka. What were the beans that had all the different flavors?
Bertie bots every flavor beans, and one of them could be vomit, or one of them could be a bigger one. Yeah.
So one stamp that you bought could be boogers. I have so many good ideas.
You really do.
This is why I'm not a banker. Because my brain is messed up.
Okay. Hey, coming up in just a couple of minutes, things I should have known.
Things you should have known.
And the stupidest cake statement ever.
All right, that's coming up next.
See you next. We're brought to you by Connect Heating and Air. Go to UtahHeatingandCooling.com for their $39 air conditioner tune-up special. Some care now could make the difference in hundreds of dollars of energy bills this summer. And by New Millennium Financial Group. Take your feeble financial health back to a more robust position with a consult with New Millennium Financial Group. They're offering a complimentary financial analysis to get you started at utahsfinancialplanner.com.
Welcome back. Todd and Erin Daily Stream. Thanks for joining us, by the way. Did I mention that? I say this to my kids all the time. Have I told you I love you today?
And I love that about you.
No, Dad. I love you.
I love that you do that.
I do it to the dog, too.
I'm sure the dog feels very special, and that makes me feel a little bit less special when you say it to me now, but okay.
How petty.
Things I should have known. And you know how you go through your life and you feel vaguely foolish once you find something out that everybody else apparently is quite clear is an obvious fact, and you're like...
Can I say one?
Yes, of course.
And I seriously did not know this until I was like 40.
Because like as an adult, you're like, I should know these things.
All right,
what was yours?
On a vacuum cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
And you take the cord and you wind it up on the back of the vacuum cleaner, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you put that clip on like that, and it's all neat and tidy.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would undo it and then unwrap it when that top thing you can just turn upside down and it falls off.
Oh, I remember your discovery with this. I did not know that.
That's what I said.
Well, I feel stupid because the very first one here is like, I had no idea either. Ponies.
Okay. Ponies.
I thought the ponies were baby horses. Ponies are not baby horses. Baby horses are foals. Apparently, ponies are a different breed. They are a small breed of horse. I had no idea. I feel very stupid.
Okay, well, don't feel stupid. They're just little ponies.
I did not know that, though. That just seems so strange. All right, for instance, coffee cake.
Coffee cake. Back on track.
One guy said, in my mid-30s, I learned coffee cake was not, in fact, coffee-flavored cake. I never wanted to eat it for that reason, because I hate the flavor of coffee.
Oh, that's so funny.
It's a breakfast cake. People traditionally have it.
Drink it with coffee.
like coffee as a breakfast thing. It's a sweet cake meant to be had for breakfast, which is why they associate it with coffee cake.
That's interesting.
Because I hate the flavor of coffee, so I had never eaten it either, just assuming.
Oh, it's
but it's traditionally, yes, cinnamon and brown
mm-hmm.
sugar and nuts, which is now sounds delicious, and I'm very, very hungry. All right, then there is, of course...
Dolphins.
No, not dolphins,
okay.
narwhals.
Narwhals.
People did not know that narwhals are for real. Narwhals are real.
They are
It's like reindeer. People did not think that there was such a thing as actually reindeer.
Oh, there are.
There are reindeer, but there are also narwhals.
They are like the unicorn of the ocean.
I think that is so cool. This girl goes, I don't know what I was thinking. She says, I thought they were like mermaids or the Sphinx, that they weren't for real. They were like a legendary.
And they don't know what the point is for.
I thought they thought it was for sensing, like echolocation.
No one swims with them. They don't know. There's something that's if they're poking in the bottom of the ocean.
I thought it was echolocation, that it was a sensory element.
I see. There's a controversy right there.
Oh, I love the narwhals. I think they're amazing. So that makes me very, very happy. And then, of course, for instance, pickles. People didn't realize that pickles were just cucumbers in vinegar.
What did they
They
think?
said that I felt very let down by this realization because I had somehow assumed the pickles were
A special plant.
more awesome and different and they're all wrinkly. And of course my personal favorite, which is I thought going over speed bumps would slow your car down, that was their point.
Oh my gosh.
That you would drive and you'd be driving like 40 and then the speed bump would like clock your car and it would go down to 30.
You down.
They didn't realize that it's actually just bounces you over and
you're supposed to
causes damage. And but they said they thought
gosh.
that was just the convenient element of the roadway, that it was helping your car slow down for you.
There's a sign at my friend's apartment, and on the drive out there is a bump. There's a speed bump, but evidently they didn't know the term, and so the person making the big professional yellow sign,
The warning.
it says speed hump. And every time I left his apartment, there was someone taking a picture of themselves next to it.
That actually dovetails rather beautifully.
Couldn't you just call your friends and ask them, is it a speed hump or a speed bump? They had one job to do, and they did it wrong.
That kind of like written mistake actually really does dovetail beautifully to our final story.
Oh, well, tell me more.
Which is really sad. The Kosinski family, their son Jacob, graduated with the highest honors from a Christian-based homeschooling program.
Nice.
I mean, spectacular, summa cum laude. I mean, it's incredible.
Is that like Greek?
It means extra, super special. And if you were marching somewhere, you got cool tassels in your hat.
Nice.
But so his mom was very proud, and she ordered a cake. Now, she said it was funny. He didn't know we were getting a cake because he's not a big cake eater, but we wanted to have something to celebrate our boy, and this is cool. So she'd ordered it online through Publix, and when she was alerted that profane or special characters aren't allowed, and she goes,
think of this for a second.
Summa cum laude.
Right.
So she went, she goes, well, summa cum laude, this is what it is.
Right.
And explained it on the online form because it had clicked up some sort of algorithm of naughty.
Do you have a picture of this?
So they went and picked it up, and this is what they actually ended up with.
Let's see.
Congratulations, Jacob.
Oh, I get it now.
Here's the cutest thing, though, that I am so in love with Jacob, because he goes, the cake experience was kind of humiliating because I had to explain to my family and friends
my gosh.
what that meant.
Yeah.
And they were giggling uncontrollably, at least my friends were. You put the cake up again.
Just let's leave them
The
there.
flowers were blue, and that was very
the
pretty.
flowers were gorgeous. You guys.
Happy graduation, Jacob. We love you, sweetheart.
Good for you. Thanks
And happy
for the cake.
Summa
Laude.
laude.
All right. You guys have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow morning right here on the Todd and Erin Daily Stream. Ciao. Ciao.